Hi, I'm Maple Milk. This is a filler video I'm writing as fast as I can because I want to post the video before I go to sleep because have to work early tomorrow. I have an entire video I wrote yesterday. I can't edit it until tomorrow or some other day because I got job stuff, I guess. Yippee. I don't think I've ever seen YouTube become as personal as someone's blog post, and even in the best of cases. In this case, personal doesn't mean exposing your personal information to an audience. YouTube has no lack of that. No, I mean that blog posts have their author expose their soul to the audience. You know, the nature of plain text not being mass media as it once was, as in God, who knows how far back, means that posters had the freedom to be as weird and personal as they wanted to, really. That's what I've noticed when I got into reading. Books are typically a medium that has the ability to house the most mature, experimental, and fucked up storytelling, just because it's the easiest medium to get into, you know? All it needs to write something is something to write with and something to write on. But even with the massive amount of consumption and attempts at curation of the deluge of YouTube videos, I've never found something that's deeply personal as some of the random blog posts I used to stumble across in my earlier days of scrounging the internet. This isn't to say that airing yourself out personally is an objective good, but it's one of my foundational principles as a creative and as a person at this point is the idea of genuineness and emotional bravery. I think that YouTube as a platform in particular has this issue because the medium of video production, even on its base level, has a high barrier of entry compared to writing and even other mediums. There are aspects of other aspects like the algorithm, incentivizing videos using IPs and concept people are familiar with, the culture of YouTube shifting with monetization, and honestly, just the nature of humanity just being, emotionally unavailable with each other. But I have given up on all hope of mass appeal. Thankfully, I feel very happy with the decision because I was never the type of person to fit into the idea of mass appeal in the first place. Aside from the fact that my brain is biologically wired differently than in most respects, I have progressively figured out the exact way that my uniqueness can be expressed. I had this realization when I started to really become obsessed with Kurt Cobain. But we really are one of a kind, like as humans. I feel that way at least. I'm the only person who could write the stuff in the way I will write it. And just like Kurt, Cobain is the only one who could write a song like School or Serve the Servants. Whenever the world loses a creative person like Jay Dilla or Kentaro Mira or Keith Haring, we don't lose their body but access to their soul. We lose their particular experiences and their way of thinking that led to their art. That's why I don't really like AI-generated Nirvana songs, because it's not the question of if it can or can't replicate the current Nirvana songs. It's irrelevant. It's just the idea that they'll never have the thought process and experiences that Kurt Cobain would have had. No human could do it either. Nobody else could stumble upon the book Shadowland and relate to the actress Frances Farmer to put her on a song on their album after becoming famous, after writing the album Nevermind. That's only Kurt Cobain's lived experience. I don't know. I just find that kind of thing so valuable because, it's one of the things that gives my life a purpose. If nothing else, I'm the only person that can write the way I do. And by that coin, I feel like it's my duty to write something that I want to see. The kind of blog post I used to discover just scrolling around, presumably trying to find new music to download to my shitty, slow HDD laptop hard drive. I want to make something so deeply personal that it might make someone uncomfortable, but also might make someone else feel something. Anything at all. Because I think this so-called modern internet is full of toxic apathy about other people. Speaking of laptops, I was talking to a friend the other day. I randomly remembered how much I love the idea of this romantic laptop glow. I got my first laptop as a freshman in high school, and honestly, it was remarkably late given how much I wanted one. I'm sure it was a budget restriction. I don't remember. It was an HP laptop. It costed about, I guess, $350 at the time. It has one of those slow AMD processors and those AMD integrated graphics. For reference, I only played like indie games with this thing because it couldn't really much else. I think the most modern game I got off of it was like a good 20 FPS on Metal Gear Solid 5, lowest settings possible. And I've never replaced it. I still have that laptop because I don't need another laptop. I don't go on many trips. If I do, they're against my will because the only thing I want to do, seemingly, is make videos and talk to people about music and video games or whatever. And maybe concerts every once in a while. I have a long history with this laptop and a lot of stories, as I'm sure everyone with a budget laptop does. But this laptop is what I got started on YouTube on, and I'm pretty thankful for it, despite the extremely long rendering times. And this laptop has a DVD drive, and I'm pretty sure I broke it when I tried to replace the white. I replaced the hard drive, made an SSD to make it faster, and I replaced the RAM in the laptop or something. And I haven't used the drive in years, so I mean, it could be broken. It could, be perfectly fine. Either way, it has a the laptop has a DVD drive, and I got really into collecting DVDs. So here's where this rambling goes into having a point. I absorbed a good amount of media influential to me on this shitty laptop. I watched Blade Runner on this thing, right? This laptop has like a 720p screen, or like, yeah, around that. Honestly, it's a good quality for a DVD and functional enough of resolution for a budget laptop. The panel itself is kind of bad. The viewing angles are weird and fucked up, and the brightness is horrible. If you lose it in a dark room, it doesn't look great. But I've tried to always try to hook up like, the laptop to my tiny ass TV in my room, but man, that's the feeling, isn't it? The feeling of compromise. That's where the nostalgia comes in. And here's where here's a little title I made up comes in. So, yeah, I was talking to my friend about thinking about how romantic the feeling of two people sharing a laptop screen is. Like, imagine this, right? You're sharing your bed on some random Saturday with somebody. You're in this cramped apartment. It's kind of stuffy in there, but neither of you are willing to get up and open the window or turn on a fan or something. You're just too comfortable under the covers. So you're with this person trying to shuffle around this twin bed, accidentally slapping against each other, which each centimeter traveled. You're trying to decide what movie to watch. You're on some random pirate site that'll presumably get taken down in about a week, restarting the cycle. Sure, you could torrent something, but the apartment's shitty internet wouldn't let that happen. So you scroll and discuss the various films that pass by. You meant to watch that one day. Not the right time, though. Oh, that one is good. They said it sucks. When they watched it, oh, should we watch that one? I got taken off the site. So after a while, you go and you choose something that just, looks cool. No pressure in it. It's just somehow some cheesy comedy film in the 80s. The type that has seemingly gone extinct over time. And it's an okay movie. But it's memorable only in the respect of this moment, It's the moment you'll remember in the future as one of the good times you've had with this person, despite any other future path that goes on. You see the glow of the shitty laptop screen in the dark illuminate them in the corner of your eye. The laptop speaker struggles out a muffled dialogue you barely hear over the constant sound of the crickets outside and the cars passing through. But any shortcomings the laptop has are overcome with the emotion of sharing your time with someone else, enveloped in a warm blanket of darkness as one, or something like that. Maybe it's romantic. Maybe I'm just lonely. Who knows?